Thank you for the opportunity to talk. I really and truly do appreciate this very much. The challenges that we have, being small business, we never know where the new challenges are going to come from. And so whenever this came up, it was just one more issue of the things that we have to deal with, because one of the things that is so critical is that small business is undercapitalized. That's just an ongoing thing. But we knew that when we got into the small business, that would be one of the challenges. But when this one came up, it really was one that was starting to set us back. I went on the website and on the internet, and I've got several printouts of different opinions of this and what works and what doesn't work. I've got both sides of the issue. But the side where I am is small business and saving my business and my employees' jobs. I've already had to cut some jobs because of the recession of my full-time. Then we'll gear up for the holiday season. But I want to read you something that really hit home with me. Now this is from a group, and this came out in December 6th of 2007. And this is what really hit home with me that I know that I'll have to deal with if this comes through. And that is, it talks about what this preferred energy source is. Got carbon dioxide is the unavoidable byproduct of fossil fuel combustion, which currently provides 85% of America's energy. So if all of this happens, this is what the Charles River Association figures the costs are going to be to us, and that's to you and me. In terms of reduced household spending per year of the S2191 at $800 to $1,300 per household by 2015, rising to $1,500 to $2,500 by 2050. Electricity would jump by 36 to 65% by 2015 and 80 to 125% by 2050. No analysis has been done on the impact on gasoline prices, but an Environmental Protection Agency study of a less stringent cap and trade bill estimates impacts of 26 cents per gallon by 2030 and 68 cents by 2050. Now, if there are updated figures to this, I'm not familiar with them, but this is what I look at whenever it comes to the business, because anything like this I have to pass on.
Thank you, Congressman. My name is Drew Crutcher. I've been involved in the Permian Basin trying to create jobs for myself and also for my fellow citizens through efforts of our economic development activities around town. And during that time, I've seen all of us clamor for a national energy policy. I guess it kind of falls under the heading of you need to be careful what you ask for, because we seem to be heading towards a national energy policy, but one is an engineer that just doesn't make sense to me. I think people in West Texas are patriotic. I think we understand that it would be better if we were green and had greener jobs and our country was safe from pollution. But we don't see, or at least I don't see, that what's proposed here is going to work. It seems to be a policy of saying, hey, if we make the production of fossil fuels and other energy producing activities that produce CO2 expensive enough, somebody will pick an alternative. Well, that just doesn't wash when you look at what those alternatives are. And making it more expensive is not going to make us naturally turn to it, even though we might want to, because we might say that, as I say again, as patriotic citizens of West Texas, we might like an energy policy that when we're willing to pay for it, that was a little more expensive if we weren't always in foreign conflicts that seem to have something to do with oil and gas. But folks, I don't see that we've got an alternative right now for our fossil fuels in the near term. And I don't see that the cap and trade proposal will do anything but increase the cost of energy and lose jobs, as these other panel members and the congressman has talked about. And give us something that makes sense, and we'll work towards our goals. But I think we're all a little bit tired of solutions that are pie in the sky and are dependent upon things just costing more, and all of a sudden we'll embrace more alternative forms of energy. And by the way, I think West Texans ought to be a little bit proud of us in our alternative energy practices. We see more wind power out here that other parts of the country are not willing to accept. I think we've had research at Texas Tech and other places on solar, which again is dependent upon efficiencies. And I hear that the other parts of the country, even in the Mojave Desert right now, are maybe not willing to use solar. So I think at West Texas, we've been practicing what we preach, but we've always been very practical people, and we're trying to find something that works, not just a policy that sounds good.